As long as I'm with you, I'm happy. Would you like this to be our home?
Wait a minute. 11 months ago, they're standing in front of the property and they didn't like peek inside to look at it? Come on. This is so staged. They're in front of the property 11 months ago and they couldn't tell that the inside was completely freaking gutted. So I've been on a real estate reality show, Listing Impossible on CNBC. And I've done 2 big deals with Josh Flagg for close to $40 million. And I'm actually negotiating a $40 million deal right now with Josh Altman. My name is Arvin Haddad. I'm the How to Buy a Mansion guy. I've critiqued over 1,000 mansions and I buy mansions for my clients. Let's get the show started.
Oh my God, look at this. Sick. One Island Vista is in Pelican Crest, one of the best guard-gated communities.
Okay. It's one of the best, but there's a fundamental problem I have with all these high-end communities in Orange County. The problem is almost every house looks exactly the same. Now, as I understand, people in OC like this architectural style, and if you like that consistency, it's good for you, right? You can argue, counter-argument to what I'm saying, is like, Arvin, it doesn't have that pink house that, brings the value of the neighborhood down. Correct, right? It doesn't have that. I mean, look at the roof lines. They're all Spanish homes with Greek elements installed on them. Another element that this house kind of lacks that we're about to see is that most of them have relatively small backyards. As you can see, they're kind of Mac mansions, huge square footage on not that big of a lot, especially the one we're about to see.
So you want to give me the tour and then we'll sit and we'll talk?
Yeah. So, foyer right here. Internal balconies, like pretty cool touch, right?
Okay, decent foyer. I think you can see the ocean if you kind of move that grand piano out of the way. So far, not so bad. It's a little too white for my taste, but fine.
You weren't kidding. This is a hotel lobby.
Yeah.
That's cool.
This is like a nice central meeting area.
Yeah, this is cool.
Cigar humidor.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Killer.
Okay, that's too tight of a space for a piano. I mean, I like the fact that it's a piano. It blocks the view, your ocean view, which is, by the way, not that good in this house. I mean, it's decent, but it's no cigar. Different color, different location for the piano. But foyer, the wow factor, it's there.
We did not spare expense on anything in this house. Literally top of the line, natural stones, marbles.
Okay, the marble looks decent. I mean, the pattern is decent. It looks good.
So this is primary. Herringbone floors throughout the house.
Do you know the difference between herringbone and chevron pattern floors? I'll tell you at the end of the video.
I want to see this view. This is cool, because this is what people want.
All right, this is not the best view in the community. You should know that. First time buyer comes in, sees the ocean view, says check mark. This is the second row. The actual house is in the front. You get the sand, you get the Queen Necklace view, you get the ocean unobstructed, no other roof in front of you. So it's second tier as far as the view goes over here.
I'm gonna show you something right now that's gonna blow your mind. You ready for it?
Yeah, let's see it.
Take a look at that.
Wait a minute. The whole bathroom is marble, but that's not crazy. I actually think in OC, it would go a long way. It would do well. So I think that, developer is actually thinking the right way. And it's book match on the floor and the walls and everything, which is, he's trying to show his, craftsmanship. But you can't use the same freaking marble you just used in the kitchen in your bathroom. This is the same marble. And to me, it just says it wasn't curated, right? It wasn't like put together in the right way. He just saw like, you know what? I'm going to put marble, but I'm going to save money on it. I'm going to go buy the same marble, get a bulk deal on it, and then put the same freaking marble everywhere. And I think that's exactly what he has done.
What? How big is this bath?
He's almost camouflaged. Look at this. It's like the upper body is just gone. It fits right into the bathroom.
Okay, I get it. You definitely spent $2 million on slabs. The stone in this bathroom, it's insane. I love it. Some buyers might think it's going to be a little much.
For LA, this would be too much, but I think it actually would play well in Orange County.
So you ready to go down?
Yeah.
Because I want to show you something.
So this is the basement level.
This is what really attracted me to the house.
It's going to be a hurdle having an indoor pool as opposed to having an outdoor pool.
Wait a minute. You don't have an outdoor pool? That's a major negative. We're not in East Coast. This is not like in, Pennsylvania, upstate New York, or Massachusetts. We're in California. Great warm climate. Pool has to be on the outdoor. I mean, that's the whole vibe, right? Do you know why? they don't have an outdoor pool? Because it's one of the smaller lots in the community. This is like a classic case of a Mac mansion. On square footage side, it's one of the bigger ones in the neighborhood, but it sits on a smaller lot. And another element, this is a sloped lot, meaning when you enter from the ground level, you're not level with the backyard. So you have to take stairs down to go to the lower level, basement level, to get to the backyard. And when you get there, you have to look through the next row of houses and the roof lines, and you get a tiny backyard with no swimming pool in it. Major negative. Now, it's decked out. It has all the finishes that you would want. But do you know why this developer got a good deal for this property on square footage terms? Because once the finishes get old, the price of the property significantly drops down. And that's the big problem with this house.
So how much you put into the house?
I'm pushing $7 million right now without holding costs.
What are you thinking price-wise?
I'm thinking $26,850.
So again, this would attract a certain type of buyer that would look at it price per square foot, and they think they're doing their due diligence, right? They're looking at the price per square foot and they're like, wow, I'm getting a great deal. But when you look at the lot price per square foot, then you're like, wow, I'm maybe paying a little bit too much. Remember, when the finishes get old, you end up by the lot. If you're a subscriber to the channel, you know this. I always say, first buy the lot. You got to buy the location, lot orientation, lot utilization, lot, quality, topography. Then you look at the structure itself, because the number one thing you can't really change is the lot. The house, you can change pretty much everything about it.
This looks like an abandoned castle.
In the midst of my divorce, I decided to purchase my childhood dream house. What the?
What is this?
What the? Oh my God, what did I do? Where are the floors?
Where's the roof? Where's the ceiling? And look at the hole here. What the was there a fireplace here?
I don't know, I've never been in this house before.
Okay, I don't know if I believe that. I think he's doing a little bit of acting here. But look, he's acting on a couple TV shows beside, $1 Million Listing. So I wouldn't put it past him.
They said that they haven't lived here in 60 years, but they have it as a second house and they just keep furniture here. So I just assumed that the house needed work.
Wait a minute, how did he even get a loan on it? Did he buy it cash? Because if a house is in this condition, when the appraiser will come, they should notify him. So I would really want to know if he actually got a loan on this property or not.
Are there any disclosures?
The answer is no. They did not disclose to me that it did not have an interior.
Okay, I don't know if I believe any of this stuff now, because it all just sounds too much made for TV. Let me explain. I could be 100% wrong. Most likely I am. I'm totally speculating. This is my personal opinion, okay? How did Josh not know that the house was in this condition? Because when you buy a property, you normally get a loan. And when you get a loan, they send an appraisal. If you use a traditional bank, they send someone to check it out. And if the house is in this condition, there's no way in hell a traditional bank would give you money. Same goes with hard money lenders. They just don't lend on your looks. They send someone to look at it. Same with construction loans. That would mean sometime in escrow, he would have found out that this property was in this condition, unless he paid all cash. Now, that could be a very much so a scenario. He's very, very successful. But again, I don't know if he would be $9.2 million liquid. He could be. But again, most people just don't sit on $9.2 million unless he was selling something else and transitioning the money into it. And the second element is exactly what Tracy just said. If this was not disclosed to Josh in escrow that, the property was non-livable condition, he would have had a very, very strong case to take legal action against previous sellers, and he has not done that. So again, I could be wrong, but I really think he knew exactly what was going on, and he just really wanted the property, and he wanted to splurge on this purchase just for the sake of doing something for himself.
How much did you pay for this again?
$9.2.
Oh my God.
Well, at least there's nice crowd molding. Let's go see the backyard. Well, isn't this lovely? What is this?
What's under those blue tarps?
I don't know. I bought this house because I thought it would be my forever home with Andrew.
As long as I'm with you, I'm happy. Would you like this to be our home?
Wait a minute. 11 months ago, they're standing in front of the property and they didn't peek inside to look at it. Come on. How could you say this is so obvious? Come on. What is the producer of this show doing? This is so staged. They're in front of the property 11 months ago and they couldn't tell that the inside was completely freaking gutted. There's windows. You can see inside.
I'm on my way to a listing appointment in Studio City. Studio City is just over the hill in the San Fernando Valley.
So Studio City is great. It's one of the nicer neighborhoods in the valley. I lived in Sherman Oaks for a while, right on the border with Studio City. Great neighborhood. The vibe is a little different. It's a little warmer, but you're still relatively close to, mainland LA.
It's totally open floor plan, which is great. Yeah. Dining, living.
So here's the kitchen.
So it's a total white box in the valley. Again, this style is, so played out. People gravitate towards it because it just looks fresh and new. But again, I think about how this style would look in 10 years. It's not going to be good. Interior finishes are up to date. They're not really high end though. I mean, this is probably a 6 out of 10, but it's what makes you money as a developer.
This is definitely one of my favorite areas of the house.
Yeah,
I love the natural light.
Yes.
Again, very sellable finishes, trendy, but, not super expensive. It's what people in that price point would expect, and they've delivered well, it looks new and fresh.
Nice high ceilings that we love.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Full kitchen. It's like an apartment.
Yeah,
it is. An ADU is an accessory dwelling unit.
So ADUs are, the easiest permits that they hand out in LA nowadays. Having an ADU could give you rental income, and it's also really good for families who want to have a live-in nanny. It could be useful and helpful.
So an ADU is incredibly beneficial for increasing your property value.
Not always, definitely not in the ultra high end. Now, I've seen some ultra high end properties use the ADU laws to add square footage. And it's actually, it's an official ADU, but it's not intended for the owner to actually use it as a rental. It's kind of used as as a guest house. Permitting process is really easy because the city wants to make housing affordable, but obviously everyone uses it. Even in the ultra high end, I've seen people use it to kind of add square footage where otherwise they weren't able to add.
In places like Los Angeles, location is everything. A single family home being next door to any kind of commercially zoned property, an apartment building, is going to be a resale issue.
Also, what's important is lot orientation, which way you're facing, south facing, north facing, west facing. It would mean different things depending where you are on the globe. Also, lot utilization, how you sit on the lot, frontage, side setbacks, backyard size, right? And this is all the stuff I talk about in my channel. If you haven't subscribed, do that right now.
The day we got the keys, I noticed airplane after airplane after airplane, and I was like, oh my gosh, what's going on? Because obviously what I do for work, sound is really important to my job.
All right, let's talk about airports. One of the most expensive neighborhoods in LA was recently affected by a change in the pattern where airplanes are allowed to fly, where they didn't have that much a direct airplane flying over them, but because there were changes to aviation industry where, they asked the airplanes to take a different route before they, land on the runway, the airplanes had to move over their head. And that would significantly affect home values in that particular neighborhood. You could one day not be in a zone where airplane flies over your head, and, next week you would be. It's just the risk you take living in a major city.
We got a $26.8 million listing that we're trying to sell today. Big open house. We got our RSVPs for about 170 people. When it comes to a house like Island Vista, you gotta make sure that everybody's talking about it. We have to be loud and proud when it comes to this property. When you hire a realtor, you're hiring somebody.
Notice how small this backyard is. That's one of the major negatives of this house when you compare, to some of the other bigger lots in the same community. Okay, can you name the architectural style? I would call this definitely has strong Greek elements, and it's married to a Mediterranean, okay? It's totally made up architectural style. The curves over the windows are totally, Mediterranean style. Obviously the facade is completely Greek, but then it has some round elements again on the top on that grand foyer that is also round and Mediterranean. It's a hodgepodge of style. To an inexperienced eye might look like a like a very traditional architectural style. It is traditional in nature, but it's not a one particular style. It's a merge of two different styles into each other.
So what's your client looking for?
Anything along the coast.
Well, this is the best of the best.
I love Josh. It's not the best of the best. It's one of the weaker lots in the neighborhood. Now, there's some lots that don't have any good view, but this is better than them, but it definitely is not the best of the best.
I'm down here today because I want to support Josh and Heather in their new listing.
Okay, so again, I'm sure they're friendly, but agents of this caliber are so busy. If they don't have a buyer, they wouldn't go to an open house just to go support another agent. And regardless of how good friends they are, their schedules are absolutely packed. This is completely set up for the storyline. When I was on a reality TV show myself, they would say, okay, we're selling this house, everybody come in. They want the whole cast there to be together. Again, on a regular day, I really don't think they will show up to each other open houses, even if they threw the best events, because they should be really, really busy with their schedule.
Well, you made the trek for me, so.
I did.
That was also for the show.
Well, this is fancy. Is this like a new kind of European toilet?
That was funny.
Bye. Come on.
Bye. See you later.
All right, we'll see you. We want people to not only...
Do you notice the flaw? I sometimes pause the clip. Can you notice the flaw right here? You see, this is the entry level. This is the, second floor. This is really the basement, the swimming pool. But this is the level that is level with the backyard, which showcases the lot is not flat, and that is a negative.
I want you guys to feel at home here. I want your clients, most importantly, to feel comfortable here.
We are not opening up an office. We are opening up a real estate lounge.
That's right, no desks. Just gonna have a 140-inch television.
Okay, so this is the new trend in residential brokerages. Traditionally, a lot of agents worked from home, but since COVID, even more and more agents work from home, including myself. So brokerages are adopting, especially now that the market has slowed down. They're downsizing their brokerage office into more of a lounge where you kind of hang out, and minimizing the office spaces for only the people who actually use the office and also produce enough, volume to deserve an office. I'm seeing almost all brokerages downsizing and going for storefront, for logo, trying to kind of kill two birds with the same stone to, get visibility, a billboard, and invite people to come in. And most of all, most realtors who are on shows, from the Oppenheim Group and, Josh Altman, Ryan Serhant, they get these kind of lounge setting formats where, invites people to come in. They feel like they will maybe meet the star, bring buyers in. It will actually, be a lead generation aspect for them than actual agents doing their job.
We just got news that we just closed One Island Vista. Yeah. All right. 23.5 million plus another million on top of it for furniture.
So the developer bought it for 15 million. He says he spent 7 million. I don't believe it. But let's say he's in it for $22 million. After commissions and everything, he didn't make much money. But again, this could be strategic on the part of the developer because he's seeing kind of the trend, the inventory rising in the ultra high end, the mortgage rates going up. He's like, what? I don't care to make too much money. I want to have my cash to make money on my next purchase, right? I want to buy good for the next one instead of getting tied down and being too, stingy, trying to get a good deal and chase the market all the way down. Strategic move. I like it.
Mike rejected both offers. We filmed the video walkthrough with the owner. It got hundreds of thousands of hits. That happened to get to the person who bought it, and they end up buying the house. So when we win, you win. We're all family. I got $1,000 for each of you guys. We're excited that you're part of it. So
that's really good for building a team. But before I tell you guys the difference between herringbone and chevron pattern floors, let me explain if this deal was a good deal. I think Josh did a pretty damn good job promoting this property. If I was the buyer agent for that buyer, I would have explained exactly why this property will not appreciate as good as other properties in the same community with, bigger backyards and better lots, right? My philosophy and the reason people like to consult with me is that I disclose everything to you. I would tell you why you shouldn't buy a property that you love, right? So you do it knowingly. So when, 10 years from now, when the finishes go out of style and, you're stuck with a property that, sits on a, subpar lot, you won't be upset about it. You will be conscious about it and know that, I made a conscious decision. I wanted to have the newest and the greatest finishes of that neighborhood at that time. And I did that because that was my budget and that's what I could have afforded. Nothing wrong with that. But what I have a problem with, a lot of buyer agents are so scared to lose the deal and they try to sugarcoat the negatives of the property. If you want to consult with me, the link is in the description. Now, the difference between chevron pattern and the herringbone floors is the way they connect with each other. One connects overlap, the other ones, they kind of book match together. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the comment section. Take care.